In this video, I will show you how to use a boundary event to catch an error and take an alternative path. So let's suppose we have this project, this process where it starts here. We have task number 1, and then we can go to task number 3, and then it's the end of the process. Or we could go to task number 1 if there is an error. We can take this then alternative path in here. And then instead of going through task 3, we go through task number 2. And then again, it's the end of the process. So now what we're going to do is to use a Groovy connector. For this, we go to the overview and open the Bonita marketplace. There are a few connectors over there. So we look for Groovy, and then we select it and say install. This is really for executing Groovy scripts. And we say install. Just be sure to have an internet connection. Well, this is done because the dependency comes, it's a Maven dependency. So once it's fetched, it will appear here as a connector. For example, in this project, there are other connectors that were added and that can be removed if they are no longer used, for example, and you can add other ones on the same way in the marketplace. Let's go back to the diagram. So we have task number 1. We select task number 1, and then we go to the execution tab. In connectors in means the connector will be executed when we enter that task. So we go to add. We will see the script category since we added this Groovy script connector. Then we say next. So let's give a name to this connector. And now we can choose between what happens if the connectors fails. We can put it in fail state. We can ignore the error and continue process. Or we can throw an error event. So this last one we will choose, and we will call it my task error. And now we open the script editor to put everything in there. We will call it task 1 script. So for example, in this case, let's say we already have a variable called mandatory var. And we will create the logic. So if mandatory var is different from null, so let's just return mandatory var, for example, and else, well, we will throw a new exception, yeah. So, and we will put in here, for example, why more information. So mandatory var is invalid, and we will give the value of this mandatory var. Okay, so now this is really just okay. This is the logic. The logic to check if the variable is valid. Yeah. And the else is going to be just the logic to check if this if it is not valid according to our needs. We will throw this exception. This is for really saying that the connector has failed somehow. So, and then we go finish. So right now, since my mandatory var should be null, we should go to task number 1. Then the error should be erased. And then we should go to task number 2. And we should not see task number 3. Okay? How can we check this? Well, we can run this process just simply. And in our browser, we haven't defined any user interface. So that's why we just say start to start this process called my pool. Now we can see, for example, all the tasks that are and the cases. There are no open cases, but we can see there's an arcade case with case ID 6. And the simplest way is just to go to the administrator application to see what happened. Go to the BPM tasks. And here we can filter by failed flow nodes and pending task, there is nothing, and done tasks. So in here we can see that to case number 6, it was executed task number 1 and also task number 2 just after. So we have verified that we have taken the good path. We can also see the engine logs. So yes, it is in there. Mandatory var is invalid and it's saying it's null, which is the expected result for now. And let's say now that I want to modify the X script, so I want to change the condition of valid. So now it should be null. And if not, I will raise an exception because, yeah, I have decided this is not valid and I want my connector to fail. And I will catch this exception that is thrown. So I just go next and finish. And now I will run it again, just with this changement. I will start again this process called my pool, the same way we did before. And now we see that we have a task. So it's task number 1, which I can take and execute. And when it's executed, well, I can see that I arrive to task number 3 that I can take and execute. So we have gone through this path instead of the other one.